Hello, board gamers of the world. Welcome to the Curious Box. Today, third day, day 3 of training course. Roll the dice. We are having a nuclear attack. We are having an overall attack over the planet, and we are here exclusively with our major Alex from the blue team, who is going to talk a little bit about this.
Reporting for duty, sir. Tell me, what information do you need?
All the one you can give, not the classified one.
This is called Mission Z. We're supposed to get a new planet to live. We didn't thrive in planet Earth. We destroyed it before we could cherish it. And now in this new planet, the other teams are using their nuclear weapons and destroying the landscape as they once did. The blue team will not stand for this. We want a planet to be safe in.
Keep going. You're doing well.
So what we will do is crush the opposition like this.
Okay, cut.
Just forget about these guys behind us. I asked them to
They're
be
traitors.
here just so they know they are losing this game,
Yeah.
because this is not a game.
This is war.
No,
Over and out.
we just press the wrong.
Strategy time is over. First team, are you ready?
Can we talk in the diplomatic way?
Yellow, please.
Alright, this is being a very interesting day. We played, as you have seen before, Mission Z, One Last Chance. It's a war game, and let me explain you a little bit about this game, about the effects it had on us, the players, and a little bit about designing games also, because we have been discussing this in the end. So what happened here is a very, very interesting thing. We were divided in teams. We were introduced to the game as teams. Each team entered the room, the war room, if we can call it war room, and you will understand why later, separately, so with a few minutes of distance, and we were put in different places of the room, each group in a different place of the room, behind tables, and with the rules of the game. And there was this master player, he was the commander, and then they gave us the rules of the game to read, and they gave us just a little time, and then they showed there was this epic music all around, and then there was this video showing us the theme of the game and telling us that there was one last chance for Earth to survive after this catastrophe, and there were limited resources in the world, and that we should gather the resources, and we should almost fight for the resources, and we needed to achieve missions, individual missions. Our mission, the blue team, was to gather 360 resources, and the other teams had different missions. Well, all this environment created already a conflict there. We got really immersed immersed in game. The board was big and it was right in the middle of the table, and we got instantly immersed in the game. And so we started planning tactics. First, we needed to plan the strategy, then to take actions, and of course, we started to try to conquer some territory and to fight the others to get the most valuable resources and everything else. And it was kind of a passive aggressive, but mostly aggressive environment. Then there was this white team, which was kind of weird because there were specific rules for this team, but we didn't know because we thought that we couldn't talk to each other, and so there was no diplomacy here. So in the end, it was a mess. And the video we have seen before, the part of the video I've seen before with Alex and me talking about war and stuff, this was done right after the third round of the game. And we were very, very confident that our group would win the game because we had a very interesting plan. Problem is, when we got inside the room again, we were supposed to play still 2 more rounds. What happened was we reflected about the game. While we were discussing the game, we also talked about some tricks that we could use to make the game more immersive, like building up on the soundtrack, on the visual effects, on simple practical effects like building, like using flags, using team uniforms, so many other things. And I think this is very important if you want to create a game based on storytelling, or you want the players to get an immersive experience. You should really start thinking on external elements that can help the game. You know, for example, Mysterium or Escape Dark Castle. You can find the soundtrack on YouTube, and you can just play related to the soundtrack while the soundtrack is playing, and it makes the experience a lot funnier, and it makes the player forget they are actually playing a game, and they make them live the experience, which is actually what I'm looking for a lot while I'm playing games. This is personal, of course, but I'm looking for that a lot, for the immersive experience, and for overcoming obstacles, of course. In every game it's like this, but the experience, it's what really drives me. And as designers, I totally recommend you, even in, well, maybe not in abstract games, but it can also be used, but in mostly thematic games, you can make them even more thematic, even more immersive, if you invest on this practical or special or the effects, the external effects to the game. Well, right now we are just in the middle of this amazing landscape. It's whoa, really whoa. And we came for a lunch walk, just a group of volunteers, a group of participants on the training. It's great to have this time also to relax quite a bit. And it's a little bit windy, but not cold, because anyway we walked quite a lot. Now they're just calling the bears, making strange noises, and it's a different experience. I mean, walking in the nature, it's not for sure a different experience for me, but being with some guys who are actually calling for bears, knowing bears are somewhere around, it's kind of interesting. It's not scary at all, but probably it would be scary if there was actually a bear in the surroundings and if it showed up. So anyway, the landscape is great, guys are great. Alex here.
You're great.
whatever.
Is he looking awesome? Look at this awesome dude.
So we are waiting for the afternoon now to see what's coming next. Do you have an idea?
No.
I didn't see the program.
I think it's more about immersion. And,
Okay, more immersion.
creating new games.
All right. Let's see what the afternoon brings us.
Yeah.
Ay, ¿quieres que lo toque?
Tú tocas uno y el otro. Te dejo elegir.
Okay, what's happening? Tell me what's happening.
Okay, I know this plant is like poisonous. It's itchy for you, for your hand, but I don't know if it's the leaves or the wooden part. So we are
We are going to
going to try. Do you prefer the leaves or the wooden part?
Okay, this is the botanist part of the Curious Box. This is a game,
This is science.
a science game.
Oh,
So-
good for me.
Science that makes you hurt.
It's okay.
Are you sure
Okay
this
for
is
you?
the plant?
Yeah, it's this plant for sure.
This, the flowers?
Come on, touch it like this.
No,
you're sure.
that too. Wow! You killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. All?
Yeah.
You can try with us?
With your leg.
Sure.
Come on.
And after that, your hand lost your hand.
Okay, in the end, everyone is alive.
Go on, do the
No bear came from the plant.
And your mouth.
Okay, again,
Hello.
again.
Again.
You're laughing. Camera. You're laughing, yeah?
Loud.
Washing mask. Washing mask.
For further information, don't forget, subscribe The Curious Box on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course this channel on YouTube.
Subscribe.
Unless you want a nuclear bomb.
Yes.
This is awesome.